Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with another video. Today on Century 17, we're going to be ranking every MLB team. Let's get right into it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a like on this video. I truly would appreciate it. Reese Hoskins jersey comes in today. The one t-shirt, it's going to be on the wall. It's going to be right here. Josh Allen's moving up here, and this is moving up there. But with that being said, I'm excited to rank every MLB team because a lot has changed, kind of. We're still in lockout. It is ending soon, I do believe. With all the trades and all the free agency that's gone down, we haven't done one of these videos on this channel yet, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, obviously, we gotta go over the tiers. We obviously, at the top, we've got elite. Right below it, we've got above average. Below that, we've got average. Below that, we've got below average. Below that, we've got dog water. They'd be terrible. So starting off with the Arizona Diamondbacks, they're still dog water because they're going to trade away Ketel Marte. No Eduardo Escobar. Madison Bumgarner is their only pitching that they actually have on that team. And that just all adds up to being not very good at all. All right, next up we got the Cubs. The Cubs are below average. They're making moves that would say they're trying to push a playoff spot up to this above average part, but Stroman's not going to fix all your problems. You got to go out and get someone like Correa, Story, something like that in order for me to actually put you into average at least. No Bryant, Rizzo could come back. Some decent pitching actually with Stroman and Hendricks, and they could trade for Castillo. That's actually a good possibility, but I don't know. All right, next up we got the Chicago White Sox. The White Sox are elite. They are actually so good. Jose Abreu, Yasmani Grandal, Eloy Jimenez. I mean, this team is absolutely stacked. Not to mention Lucas Giolito and Lance Lynn in the pitching. Craig Kimbrell, Liam Hendricks on your back end. I mean, they are so balanced pitching and hitting wise, and they can hit bombs. So the White Sox, I do believe, are an elite team. I have them winning the most games out of anybody. That article will be linked in the description, and I might do a video on predicting every MLB team's record, even though I did it in an article. So as I said, go check it out, linked in the description. All right, next up we got the Guardians. I'll put them in below average because I'm nice, but they really are pushing dog water. They're gonna trade away Jose Ramirez. We all know it. Shane Bieber just was not what he was in that shortened 2020 season. It wasn't bad this year. He had above 3 ERA, but sub 3.5, which is really the benchmark for a good starting pitcher. So, but they really don't have anybody else. Franmil Reyes, I mean, that's just about it. Colorado Rockies. This team is so unbelievably terrible that, like, it's disgusting. They gotta trade away Herman Marquez. They're not bringing back Trevor Story. Oh gosh, no. John Gray is gone. I mean, this team just has nobody. All right, Detroit Tigers. Oh, this is really tough. I'm gonna put them in average because Jonathan Scope, Javi Baez, and now you're bringing in all these guys. I mean, Miggy Cab is still on the team and he's okay. Spencer Turnbull's a really good #1 starter, but if you could bring in another starting pitcher, that'd be great. They picked up Tucker Barnhart. I mean, this team is making some nice moves. Houston Astros, they're still elite, and here's why. They brought in Carlos Correa's replacement, I do believe, and, or they will. I forget. Oh my gosh. They're still stacked. I still have Jose Altuve, Alex Bregman, Yuli Gurriel, Michael Brantley, Kyle Tucker, Yordan Alvarez. I mean, they are so stacked. Justin Verlander, Zach Greinke might walk. We don't know. Lance McCullers is coming back from injury. I mean, this team is going to be so good this year, even when they're losing Correa. Next up, we got the Angels. The Angels are the definition of an average team. They're hitting. Obviously, it's going to be there. They got Shohei Ohtani. They've got Mike Trout. But other than that, I just don't know. Also, I look like a 9-year-old kid right now. Oh my gosh. Get some of this down here. Gotta look like one of those edgy teenagers, bro. Look like I'm 9 years old. Well, pitching just really isn't there. So, yeah, the Angels are going to go right in that average spot. The Miami Marlins. It might be a little bit controversial, but I think that what they have right now makes them an average team. Maybe even pushing above average. Their roster looks really good. Sandy Alcantara, Trevor Rogers, they're always going to be your top two guys that are so good in the pitching. Their pitching is phenomenal. They bring in Joey Wendell. They bring in Avisel Garcia. They are bringing in the pieces that they need. People like Castellanos going to them. I like him going to the Phillies personally. Ketel Marte could definitely be traded to the Marlins. One more outfielder. I think this team is really pushing it. Jazz Chisholm's on this team, guys. All right, the Minnesota Twins. The roster they have now, it's really close. It's somewhere right in here. I don't think they're what their record says they were, but I think they're a little bit below average still. Byron Buxton is a star. Josh Donaldson is great. Miguel Sano is always going to be a great power hitter, but Kenta Maeda was very bad this year. They got rid of Jose Barrios, obviously. And they just don't have any pitching. Hard to win in this league when you have no pitching at all. The New York Yankees. Ooh, this is going to be really fun. I don't think they're elite yet. I don't know. I think I'm going to put them in above average. I think they're... It's really hard to tell. I think they're missing a starting pitcher or two. The bullpen is great. Garrett Cole is great, but they are missing a starting pitcher or two and maybe an infielder. Urshela and Torres, I don't know. I'm not big on. So think an infielder and a starting pitcher and you're up in that elite category. Next up, we got the Oakland Athletics. Right now, the Oakland Athletics are average, but by the end of the offseason, they're going to be in the dog water category. I mean, their whole offense is, and their whole team is revolving around Matt Olson and Matt Chapman, and they're both going to be gone. But right now, they're average. Pittsburgh Pirates, I want to say they're below average, but they still are dog water. They still have Brian Reynolds, who's absolutely fantastic. Brian Hayes, I think he's so good. Ben Gamel, but like, who else do you have on that team? So yeah, they're dog water. All right, the Boston Red Sox. Oh, this is gonna tick a lot of people off. I truly think that they are average. I think that this year they're gonna take a step back, and here's why. I think Bogarts is gonna start to go down. I think that guys like Matt Barnes are not going to be as good. Chris Sale's going to come back. He's not going to be as good. They're going to rely on Eovaldi way too much, and they're not picking up the pieces that they need. They're not going to re-sign Kyle Schwarber. They're going to be lacking offensive pieces. They traded away Renfroe, which was so dumb, I think, but I don't know. San Diego Padres, I'm not going to put them in elite. I think they're above average. I know you can't really see that logo. I'm sorry, I did not make this list, but above average seems about right. They do need some more pitching, probably another starter. I mean, they're going to have Musgrove, Snell, Darvish. They're very good, but they do need another starter. Bullpen help is huge. They need that. They need someone to help out Melanson. Tatis, Machado, Cronenworth. I mean, they're always going to be so good in that infield. Give them a first baseman. Hosmer's not bad. This team is very good. The Seattle Mariners, they're above average, but they're pushing elite. I mean, if they make a trade for Jose Ramirez, oh my gosh, they're going to be so good this year. They traded for Adam Frazier. They're getting this infield rounded off. Ty France is probably going to be playing first base. Kyle Seager's in the outfield. They picked up Robbie Ray. Yusei Kikuchi might come back. I mean, this team is so good. St. Louis Cardinals, they're above average. They're also pushing elite. They have like the best defense in the world. Tyler O'Neill, Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado, they're good hitters. Tommy Edmonds, a nice scrappy little player. Good, not great pitching. Flaherty, Wainwright, and they picked up Fletcher, I believe. Trade for a guy like Luis Castillo and you'll be in a great spot. Tampa Bay Rays, I mean, I don't even know what to say about them anymore. It's Kevin Cash, and he's the guy who's keeping them so good. It's not like they don't have players. I mean, Austin Meadows is doing great. Randy Arozarena, Joey Wendell, Brandon Lau has been so good. Underrated Brandon Lau. Same with Joey Wendell, but this team, I don't get it. They're always so good. Texas Rangers. Am I gonna make people mad? I think they're average. The moves they made them average. Before that, they were dog water. They have Adolis Garcia in the outfield. In the infield, obviously, you got the best middle in the whole entire league. That's Simeon. And you've got Seager. But with that being said, they could go out, they could trade for a guy like Wilson Contreras. They brought in John Gray, which people are not talking about. He was so good in cores this year. If they bring in like Clayton Kershaw, this team definitely could be pushing a playoff spot, but I think they're going to be right around the 500 range. Washington Nationals, rest in peace to them. I can't even talk about them. They're just wasting Juan Soto at this point. Sure, they won a World Series in their first year. Congratulations, but you haven't done anything ever since. Atlanta Braves, I mean, they just won the World Series. I think they're elite. If they lose Freddie Freeman, they're still going to be an above average team. I think it's actually more and more likely as the days go on that they're going to lose Freddie Freeman. Like, the more and more I think about it, that I think he wants to get paid, and I know that they know that they're going to have to pay Acuna, Albies, Riley, Fried, all these guys big money like they're paying Freeman, like they would have to pay Freeman. They simply would not have the money to pay them, all of them, what they're going to be worth. And you got to get rid of one of them. Get rid of the oldest guy. All right, next up we got the New York Mets. Their roster right now is probably above average. This is really tough, man. I don't know. They're like right on the edge. I think that just because we haven't seen them play a game with all their pieces yet, they're still an average team. It's so close. They could be an above average. It's so close. I mean, look at the moves they got this year. They brought in Mark Canha, Ketel Marte. They got Escobar. They could trade for Matt Chapman. They just be bringing over all the Athletics' whole entire team into their spot at that point. Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer, by the way. Yeah, the best two pitchers in baseball are on the same team. Oh my gosh. It's going to be a train wreck for Phillies fans. The Milwaukee Brewers. I think they're above average. I don't think they're elite. It's just they don't have offense. They really need something. Yelich took a step back big time. Okay, next up we got the Reds. Kill me and cry me a river. They are dog water. Their management is dog water. Their coaching is dog water. and they're going to trade away the only good players they have. Nick Castellanos opted out for a reason. They traded away Barnhart. They're trading away Gray and Castillo. Winker's probably going to want to leave. You've got Jonathan India, and that's pretty much it. Eugenio Suarez is just a strikeout machine. Same with Moustakas. Votto can hit, but he can't field. Right ahead, this next up, we got the Dodgers. Is there actually a question? Deepest team in the whole entire league by far, probably the deepest team of all time. Trey Turner is going to move to shortstop. Taylor is going to come in and play second base every day, probably. Muncy at first. Turner at third. The rotation might get you a little bit worried, especially if they don't bring back Kershaw, because you don't know what's going to happen with Trevor Bauer. And even if he does come back, I don't expect the Dodgers to keep him. So you'll have Bueller, and you'll have like Gonsolin. Dustin May's not going to be coming back anytime soon, or Rios is going to be there still. Maybe this is probably the biggest team that could go after a guy like Sonny Gray or Luis Castillo, but I'm not completely sure yet. Next up, we got the Baltimore Orioles. They're still rebuilding. I feel like I should have added another tier with like rebuilding. Bad, but on the rise. The Orioles I'll put there, and the Diamondbacks I'll put there. It's just, I don't know. I just gotta put those three teams there because they have pieces. I do think they have good pieces. You got the M's, Mullins, Mancini, Mountcastle, so good. Probably gonna be trading away Means, but I don't really know. Diamondbacks, I think they have some great young talent. I think that Josh Rojas is so good. Nick Ahmed, Pavin Smith, I mean, they have some good pieces, and that one guy who threw the no-hitter in his first start just... All right, here we go. Oh, here we go. The Phillies. This team could be so good if they had just kept Odubel Herrera and just get a shortstop. If this team picks up Trevor Story, they're automatically above average. Right now, there's no way I can put them above the Mets. They're in the average right now. No way they're below average, because, I mean, they were just above 500. I think average is fair for them right now. All right, the Royals. I think the Royals they're not dog water. They're not bad. Like, they're not rebuilding. This is pretty much other words for like rebuilding, so not bad, but they're below average. Santana, Merrifield, Perez all had decent seasons. They just don't have pitching. It's their problem. Benintendi didn't have a bad year either, so they have some nice young and old pieces, but they need pitch. Next up, we got the Giants. No longer elite. They're going to be an above average. I know I'm going to come out and say this. They're going to go like 162-0 this coming year. Bro, imagine if a team went undefeated in a baseball. Like, that can't be possible. That's besides the fact. Anyway, the Giants are just losing pieces. They're not really bringing anybody back. That being said, I do think that the management is going to be able to get it done in the end and get them to a playoff. All right, last but certainly not least, we have the Toronto Blue Jays, and this team, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say it. They're elite. I was gonna say I want to reserve this for my top 5, but ooh, this is good. Ooh, who would I take in a series right now? Astros or Blue Jays? I'd be wanting to say Blue Jays. I gotta reserve the elite for my top 5, so I gotta kick someone out. Ain't gonna be them. It can't be the Rays. Obviously not the Dodgers. Braves just won the World Series. So yeah, it's between the Astros or the Blue Jays. You know what? We're gonna do this. Heads is gonna be the Blue Jays. Tails is gonna be the Astros. We are kicking off the Astros. All right, well, there it is. All right, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe as always. I'll see you guys in the next one. I really do hope that you guys enjoyed. Please go follow me on all my socials. Go read my articles. I post them like twice a week. Go Bills, go Phillies. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.